All right, guys, we're back. Episode 10, baby. We're back with some Yankee and Met conversation here with Vito and Brian Charles. I know it's been Brandon's been trying to get you on here apparently for a long time
Yeah,
now.
He's been trying to get
I've
on
been,
for a
I've been
while.
trying to get on myself.
Yeah,
There you
But
go.
once
There you
this
go.
Peralta and Bellinger thing came out, Brian was like, "Yeah, it's time."
It's
it's
time.
time.
Let's
Yeah,
do
pull him out of the minor leagues. He's here. He's ready for the big leagues for a big time debate. I'm excited for this, and kind of right off the bat, obviously, there's been so much going on in baseball this week. I feel like I've done a podcast every 3 seconds at this point, which is a good thing, because it's been the slowest offseason I think in the history of anything. The offseason started back in November, and it's January 21st, I believe. I don't even know the date, but we're finally making moves. And the Mets obviously have had probably the most unbelievable offseason I think I've ever seen in my life. They've had the boldest offseason I've ever seen in my life, letting go like some of the most beloved players in franchise history, um, pretty much, and just expecting the fan base to be okay with it. But they have responded finally. Took them a while. The question is, did they respond the right way? I mean, we already kind of discussed the big moves that happened last week in Bo Bichette, and now we talked about in that video how now they should probably go out and get a starting pitcher, an ace, the best guy available on the board, and they did. They actually did it. And a lot of teams are interested in Freddie Peralta. That's the big move that the Mets made. It's a little scary though. It is a rental. But Brian, as a Met fan, floor is yours. I want to hear your initial takes on pretty much everything that's going on this offseason and the whole big trade that just went down.
So the whole offseason for me is yes, it's a good one. Do I think it's every single move is the best move they made? Absolutely not. Going out and getting Freddie Peralta for this short term is going to be very beneficial. I mean, the guy won what 17 games last year. He struck out over 200. ZRA was under 3. I think it was a 2.7.
Yeah.
And the only problem with that is you're giving away your two best prospects because Sproat, last year he came up for a little bit and he played well. So personally, I think the next year or 2 or 3, however long Peralta is going to play for us, is going to be very good. And he's going to be one of our aces. Pairing him with McLean is going to be big. But still, I mean, if we're looking longer term, we have to go out and get more pitching. So if, say, Tarek Skubal stays with the Tigers, if they decide that they want to pay him the extra, what is it, 13 million?
At this
I don't
point,
know how they're not doing that
it's a
because
joke.
the guy is the best pitcher I've ever seen. He
Yeah.
reminds me of a Jacob deGrom in his prime.
Yeah.
If
No,
he does the same thing this year for the Tigers that he's done the last 2 years and hits the free agent market, and the Mets don't go and give him a blank check, I will personally go to Steve Cohen's house and give him a big problem. Because you know what? He got his casino. He got his casino, and all of a sudden, the Mets fell off the face of the earth for about 2 weeks. It was unbelievable. I've never seen anything like it. And David Stearns, you give that guy a blank office with nobody in his ear telling him what to do, and he literally sees, he's like a deer in headlights.
it.
He's the worst GM I've ever seen in my life.
I mean, he's definitely made some interesting moves. I
But
like
do you think that those are his moves individually? No way.
we talked about this last video. Vito made a very good point, and it's done very well on social media. I will say it's our
Yeah.
most viewed clip so far. It's got, I think, 2,800 views, which I mean, like, I know it's not crazy, but like, I'll take it. About how after they didn't get Tucker, they kind of looked around like, all right, we're gonna get flamed if we don't do anything
Oh
right.
yeah, and Vito called it a panic
Yeah.
move.
I
Yeah,
I
mean,
just want to add in some
I kind of
context.
agreed with that. I did because I mean, to Vito's point, I remember watching the clip. I think he said a guy that's not really the best shortstop playing third base, a position he's never played before. It it's a recipe for disaster. And you know what? The bat's going to be useful, but if we speak run prevention, I mean, what the hell are we doing? What are we doing? And I'm very happy with the Freddie Peralta move. I am. But I mean, giving away those prospects is big. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I mean, back to the panic move thing, just a little context with that. Vin was saying it was a chess piece move. And so that's why I said panic, because Stearns was preaching about this run prevention and then gets Bo Bichette. So just for all those dorks on TikTok who didn't like my take, there's some more context. Um, yeah, I agree. Freddie Peralta is awesome to get, and what's his name? Tobias Myers.
Yeah,
Getting him too is awesome. You guys needed another pen piece. He's a really good pitcher.
We actually just got Luis Garcia too.
another guy. Yeah, he's like 60. But
Yeah, I think he's 38, but he's
yeah,
got like what I actually wrote it down here. He's got a 3.42. He throws 97 plus, and we only paid him a million and a half.
Philip Rivers 2.0.
It's spring training invite. You see what you can get, maximize kind of whatever value he has. That's the ultimate
1.5 to Steve Cohen is it could fall out of his pocket.
Literally a dollar, it feels like. But it kind of seems like the whole plan with Stearns at this point, I think, is just to squeeze the value out of like everyone. That's kind of what the Brewers do. But it's definitely been interesting. I feel like, I mean, obviously, we all know Steve Cohen can pay anyone. This has been clear. We get it. We know. We saw what happened. All right, but look, if you're gonna make this move for Freddie Peralta, right? Like realistically, they will pay him. The one concern though is if they don't sign him until the offseason, which he might wait and try to test the market to see how much he can actually get from a team that's desperate for an ace.
Here, though.
Exactly. I'm just saying, let's say he does test the market and they add a salary cap. We go into this massive lockout and he's a free agent and they add a salary cap and the Mets, I don't know what's going to happen with the rule changes that probably should happen and will happen. But I feel like if he somehow ends up leaving, which I really don't think it will ever come down to that. I think the Mets will outpay anyone. But let's say in whatever, 12 months from now, we're in a lockout. Lockout's gone, but now there's a salary cap. And the Mets kind of really are in a position where they can't do this. They can't pay him. They can't afford him, or else they're going to have to whatever. I don't know what the penalty would be at that point, but I feel like that's like a massive failure if you only have him for a year and you traded Brandon Sproat, who out of the big three prospects that you guys have, and McLean, Tong, and Sproat, he's probably the worst one.
I don't know. I don't think Tong is all that.
People glaze Tong. I think he definitely has incredible potential. I think Tong would have been the right move to throw into that trade. I think Sproat's more MLB ready. Tong probably has another year in the minors, I would imagine. They rushed him up because that staff was awful last year.
Oh my God.
Pathetic. So they were
like
desperate.
Oh my God. I can't.
It was the worst staff, honestly, in a long time that I've seen. So thank God they did make this move. I feel like giving up Sproat is a little, all right. You could have gone Tong there, I guess, but you had to give up one of them. And obviously McLean's untouchable. And then Jet Williams, though.
If they gave McLean, I would never watch the Mets again.
Oh, yeah. No, that'd be a joke. But Jet Williams, I feel like for how much he's hyped up in this Met organization, he's supposed to be like this big time utility guy, this stud prospect that you guys loved, and you just throw him in that trade. Like I feel like there could have been alternatives, maybe a couple other prospects instead of Jet that aren't as valued, like 2 or 3 more guys that you add. Instead of just 2 for 2 straight up, like 2 really, really highly touted prospects. Like I don't know. I just feel like
I totally agree.
For a year, like
if can we talk about something that I don't think anybody is talking about? They're gonna have to, like, if this salary cap thing is getting thrown around like a ping pong ball. It's like unbelievable how many people are talking about this salary cap. But what's going to happen to the Los Angeles Dodgers if there's a salary cap? They have $2.2 billion in deferred money. Are they going to be paying people on their salary cap that haven't played for the team in 10 years?
That's actually, like, honestly, like, are they going to have to start trading guys?
Like,
I really want to know how that's going to work. Are they just going to be like, no, wait till their contracts are done, and then
they're going to give them a pass, just like they're getting them a pass.
Yeah,
110%. They're going to give them a pass.
I don't understand.
But how do you give them a pass on that?
I agree.
It's not just like,
you know what would fix the salary cap debacle? No more deferred money. Pay your players straight up.
And I feel like the major thing that should be added is a floor. I don't know if I feel like it's a joke that the Brewers,
you know what?
every single
Marco
year,
dropped the absolute hammer.
What he said in that clip was exactly, I think, the major problem in baseball. Yeah, the Dodgers definitely have a massive advantage over everyone with the TV revenue deal that they have, and they're able to generate the most money out of any team by a lot. So that's why they're able to
the whole country of Japan watches every Dodgers game.
Exactly. It's just they have such an advantage over everyone. But let's not forget that there are owners out there that literally do nothing ever. The Brewers, coming off of the best season they've ever had in franchise history, best season, first seed in the NL, dominant all year, two unbelievable winning streaks throughout the season. They were unreal. They ran into the Dodgers and they got embarrassed. They got swept. They couldn't do anything. But you would think, all right, we're right there. We just made the NLCS. Like our
Pay
pitching
two
wasn't
more
spot in that
players.
series. Like let's go out and fix the offense and we'll be fine.
Right,
Run it
because your
back.
pitching is unreal.
Unreal every time. And they trade their ace. They trade their ace because they don't want to pay him. Like I get it, they got a pretty good haul, obviously, for Freddie Peralta, but like the problem in baseball really
But you
comes
know
down
what?
to teams like that.
Sproat in that, oh my God, in that pitching scheme and their
Yeah.
pitching coaches, he's going to be unreal.
I feel like they never miss when it comes to pitching prospects. Like if you look, I mean, they turn randoms into studs out of
Yeah.
nowhere. Quinn Priester, a guy no one talks about, a guy was pretty much cut from two teams, the Pirates and the Red Sox, who are, I mean, they could probably both use him. Goes to Milwaukee, and he's one of their best pitchers. He's arguably their ace now. It's
Yeah.
just it's crazy what they're able to do. These low market organizations, which I will give them credit. Like they're able to develop talent better than most teams. That's how they survive. But at the
Right.
same
You're not
time,
the Mets where you have to pay everybody because you can't develop.
yeah, and paying Bo Bichette more than Aaron Judge yearly. I know it's not long term, obviously, but the fact that he makes more money this year than Aaron Judge will make,
Well,
I think is one of the
let's
biggest jokes of all
transfer
time.
into the Bellinger thing because I think that was the best move the Yankees have made in a long time. Because they're paying Cody Bellinger $32 million a year, and Kyle Tucker is getting $60 million next year. Their
And
162 game average side by side, I have it written down.
oh,
Kyle Tucker bats 273 with 31 home runs, 103 RBIs, and an 865 OPS. Cody bats 261 with 29 home runs, 98 RBIs, and an 817 OPS. And they have a $30 million difference per year. Who's calling me?
Scott Boras folded like origami.
I mean, this kid's getting calls from the government. Video. Calm down.
Hold on. All right. Yeah, we're good. But, I mean, how is that a $30 million difference? They're a year apart in age.
Yeah, no, I mean, when you put it that way, I mean, it is crazy. Like, and honestly, I think Bellinger's a better defender. I
I
think
do too.
he can play first. He can play any position in the outfield, no problem, and he's great at each position. His
He's an
hitting, I mean,
MVP. He's an MVP.
he won an MVP. Kyle Tucker's never done that, and I get it. Bellinger,
It was a shortened
I
season.
don't want to forget, he did have 2 years where he was the worst player in the sport.
Yep.
Vito's pointed that out multiple times. So
Yep.
that's why it was like, all right, when everyone thought we probably weren't going to get him back, it was like, all right, let's not forget that at one point he was horrific. He was horrific. So like there's definitely that still like looming over him. But I think for him, for his own sake, the fact that he wanted 7 years was an embarrassment.
I
And he
agree.
folded like an omelet. He folded like an omelet.
Well, he
He
has
got
to.
embarrassed.
I think he wants to play for the Yankees too, though.
I,
I don't
yeah,
think
I
he
think he
wanted
was
to go
just
to Atlanta.
leveraging.
Yeah.
I think he was just leveraging, saying he wanted to go. He probably told him I want to play for the Yankees. Pretend like I'm going to go somewhere else, and then I'll squeeze whatever I can out of the Yankees. Because if that wasn't the case, when the Yankees said, "Hey, bud, we're not getting into a bidding war for you," he said, "All right, that's the best I'm going to get." And then next day, that few days later, he signs with the Yankees.
Yeah.
Um, Before we continue with Bellinger, I do want to get some opinions from the Mets fan. Um, I feel like your current situation, Freddie Peralta, great move, and Myers, great move. Like awesome guys to get. 100% what you had to do. Like if I'm a Mets fan, I'm so scared about Soto because with what's going on, the NL is so top heavy, and by top heavy I mean one team to get past. That's impossible. That if you guys don't put together a super team in the next 5 years and beat the Dodgers finally, and then get to the World Series and have to beat an AL team, which I think you guys definitely could do. I think you guys have the potential to do that. What's going to happen when Soto reaches his fifth year and he hasn't won anything? Like, what's going to happen then? He talked about how he wanted to go to the winning organization. I know this is like a little bit of a stretch, but that's got to be a little scary. And how much more of a Lindor are you getting, right? He's getting a little older. He's a shortstop. He's a great player, a great defender. But at some point, you guys are gonna have to spend every year now and like be animals about it. So Is Cohen and Stearns prepared to do that? Are they going to be able to do that? You just gave away a bunch of prospects. Are they going to go the route of just signing and trading for people? I don't know, but I think it's going to be like a little scary at some point of like, shit, like we're supposed to be a top-notch like World Series contender every year. We signed our guy, and then we didn't make the playoffs, and the Dodgers just signed more people after two-peating. Like, so, what moves do you want to see from the Mets to be that team? Because it's going to take a lot more than just Freddie Peralta, which again I think was great. You
Yeah.
need to extend him, which you might not be able to do because in this current free agent market, anyone wants to go hit it up because anyone's getting anything.
Yeah.
Anyone's getting
Yeah.
$30 million.
You
You could
might as
bet
well test the
220, you're
market.
getting 30 mil for like 3 years. So like it's gonna be tough. You gotta get Peralta back, and then you gotta sign more guys after that as well because the Dodgers are just they're just in your way. That's like your one roadblock. I'll give it to the Mets. Like I know you didn't make the playoffs last year, but I think you guys are like a playoff caliber
Which
team,
is embarrassing.
especially with the moves,
Yeah.
especially the moves you made. I think you could beat anyone in the NL except the Dodgers right now. And I think that goes for any team in baseball as well. It's just that as Yankees fans, we're safe from them for now.
Yeah, I mean, so I think that Soto, by the way, in the clubhouse is a total disaster. The guy hates everybody apparently. Like it doesn't make any sense to me. The only person he talks to apparently is Lindor.
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
So that's a big problem for me. First off, do I think anybody in the world deserves 760 million? No. Do I want him to stay on our team? Yes. And it's for one reason. It's because he gets on base and he hits home runs. Two reasons, sorry. But this whole thing with the Mets all comes down to starting pitching because when we had starting pitching in 2015, we went to the World Series. Our team wasn't that good, but our starting pitching was phenomenal.
That offense was mid.
Mid.
Wilmer Flores was that short. Never
Yeah.
forget that. I
We
mean, that
had
guy was
Matt Harvey in his prime, Noah Syndergaard, Jacob deGrom, Steven Matz, and who was their fifth guy? Bartolo Colon.
nuts. It was an incredible stat. It was so fun to
Incredible
watch.
pitching staff.
Yeah.
But I mean, now we are all about our fielders, and it just doesn't make sense when you always historically have been a pitching team. Historically, the Mets are a pitching team. So if they want to do anything in the next couple of years, they have to go out and get more starting pitching. Do I think Soto is going to leave? Maybe. It's all about who's going to take. I mean, everybody's going to take him, but
I think it really just depends on if you win. But also, I mean,
But, I mean,
no
do
way
you
he ever
guys
gets
do you
Blue
define
Jays.
winning as winning a World Series, or do you find winning as getting to the NLCS every year?
I think he does because he's won one already.
Yeah.
But then on the flip side, he also could have just been saying that, and he really only cared. Bro, listen, if I'm getting paid
I mean,
$760 million,
the Mets
we could
took
win
two
one game
games from them
a
in the
year.
NLCS 2 years ago.
What was
Yeah.
that?
We
Yeah,
took two
no,
games
fair.
from the Dodgers 2 years ago in the NLCS, so it's not impossible to beat them.
Yeah, I agree.
Blue Jays should have beat him.
The Blue Jays should have beat them.
Yeah. Problem is,
It's-
though,
it's-
Well,
by
yeah,
1 inch they lost.
I
I know
mean,
the
got
problem
better.
is, sorry, before I'm sorry to cut you off, but like they got better. This is the best team they've ever had. They literally got better. Last year's team, like they honestly on paper they struggled a lot during the regular season, and then they were able to get healthy at the right time, and their staff was healthy finally. Their staff in 24, if we all forget, they
Their
had
pitching
three
staff
pitch-
in the playoffs last year was
Oh,
unbelievable.
when they finally got healthy, it was like, oh wow, this is ridiculous. No one can touch this, But Toronto's offense, give credit to them, they were probably cheating. We kind of discussed this already, but like they were able to stay in that
Toronto?
series. I'm just saying because the way they hit, it was like, all right, this
It
is
was
kind of a
ridiculous.
joke. I mean,
It's
Ernie
fun.
Clement was the best hitter of all time out of nowhere. I hate
That
to
was
say it,
wild,
but like,
dude. That was
I mean,
wild.
he was batting like 800 in the playoffs. I don't
Was
think he
that
got
bad?
out against the Yankees.
What's that fat and meatball's name? What's his name?
Kirk
Alejandro.
owns the
Kirk.
Yankees.
Where did he come from?
I get like these
Rolled
guys,
out of
these
bed.
randoms. I hate to say it, like they just randomly went off out of nowhere, and they were peppering balls everywhere. So I just feel like they went from that, and they still somehow found a way to win in the most unbelievable way in Game 7. Obviously, it was one of the best games ever, but they got better. They literally got the best free agent in the market. We can hate on Tucker all we want. He was still the top guy, and they got the Mets closer, the best closer in baseball.
Oh my god!
Like, we kind of
honestly
forgot about
totally
that.
Forgot about the whole Edwin Diaz thing.
We literally forget because they signed Tucker. So it's like they now fixed they now a closer. They arguably have the best
Best closer in baseball.
their lineup is ridiculous. Oh my. I mean, you have six guys that are just ridiculous to try to get out. And then the staff is probably the best staff in the sport. It's like, what is their weakness? And to top
So
it all up, they have the best farm system. What is going on? They have eight top 100 prospects, number one ranked. And I get it, that's a little bit of glaze because you know how the MLB is with the Dodgers. I mean, oh, everyone they have is the GOAT.
yeah.
But that's insane that this is a team.
Yeah. Going back to what Vito said and what I want to see the Mets do, I want to see them actually do what they say they're going to do. We're preaching run prevention. We have a first baseman that has never played first base in his life. He's never played first base before. He started out as a shortstop, became a DH for a couple years. He was a second baseman. What do they think he is? Is he going to be Scott Hatteberg? All of a sudden, he's the best first baseman they've ever seen?
Yeah.
Like,
I mean,
what are we doing? We have a first baseman that's never played there. We have a third baseman that's never played there. Marcus Semien is going to be 40 in 2 years. And I mean, Lindor is the only guy that I can confidently say that I am very year in and year out. I have no doubts about him.
he's gonna do what he does. Yeah.
But our outfield defensively, I mean, Robert's pretty good defensively, but I mean, other than that, Soto can't field anything.
80 and left.
Literally anything.
Another one. I just throw him out and left. They'll be fine. Yeah.
I don't even know who's playing left field. What's the guy's name?
It's Beatty, and then I guess Bench, who you have all the faith in the world in.
I don't even know who that is.
I mean,
Brett Beatty needs to go, by the way.
Why are you even
seven
trying to put him
infielders that
left?
all play the same positions? Get rid of him. Go get starting pitching. Trade. Do something. What do we do? We're just going to have people on the bench rotating day in and day out? Like, that doesn't make any
It's
sense.
the same thing on the Yankees with the outfielders.
Yeah, we have 7,000 now. You know, I don't know. I guess that's like the new day and age of baseball, where it's just like you get the most athletic guys that you can think of that are available, and just be like, yeah, throw them out there. It'll be fine. They'll figure it out. You know what? Like Bo Bichette never played third ever. Not even the minors. No. And he's already not a good shortstop. But you know what? He'll be a great third baseman. Put him at third. He'll be fine. You know, and Jorge Polanco. Yeah, Jorge Polanco at first base. Lindor makes a bad throw. He'll make an incredible scoop. I learned that from Vito freshman year. I did a great job back in the day for freshman baseball. I would get abused by that entire team, by Coach Russ and Coach Honan. I was the worst human being of all time.
I'm not sure you picked one ball, but
no.
It's tough. It's difficult. It's
Jorge
difficult.
Polanco.
But you know who the best picker in baseball is? It's Pete Alonso.
And Polanco's a small frame. Like, he's a small guy.
Usually you have a bigger guy at first.
Big boy.
Let's see. You go out and you get Jorge Polanco to play first base, but not only he's playing first base and never played there before, he is replacing Pete Alonso, who hit 275 last year, hit 40 home runs, had 150 RBIs.
That's ridiculous.
And Jorge Polanco, yeah, sure, he's a good hitter. People that are saying that Jorge Polanco is a great hitter need to calm down a little bit.
It's a joke.
He's a 260 lifetime hitter who hits maybe 25 home runs a year. Brings in what? 90, 95?
That's a good year. That's an incredible year for him. He's had some bad years. Like he's one of the most inconsistent players. He either has a great year or a very bad year. Like he had a very good postseason for the Mariners and a pretty good season for them. But it's like I also look at this lineup, and you brought up a good point just now. Like the one thing I will never understand is letting Pete go. Like he should have been a Met legend. His number retired, all-time leader in home runs. Fans love him. Like if you're gonna win a World Series, you had to do it with Pete. He needed to be a part of that team. He was the guy. I get it. He might not be the best player in the sport. He's probably not the best first baseman, but he's still a very valuable player to bat behind Soto, bat fourth, third, fifth. Play never.
And when you have Soto stinking up the clubhouse, and Pete comes in and takes a little bit of control, that's a big asset to have on your team.
Well,
Pete reminds me as like a David Wright type. Not nowhere close to where Wright was, but like kind of is following those footsteps a little bit.
And it's not just you're replacing Pete. Like you get into the whole like fan side of it as, you know, who's the Mets like guy? And you would probably say David Wright, but it's like, you know, I mean, it's a shame what happened with all the injuries, but Pete Alonso would have been people's favorite Met of all time and he still will be, but that's a guy you should have kept forever. And if they decided to go that route and get rid of him and try and get other players, that's fine. You don't replace a first baseman, a good hitting first baseman, with a good hitting second baseman. There are positional differences. Why do we act like there's not? There is a reason why shortstops that have an 800 OPS are in the Hall of Fame, and outfielders that have like 750 to 800 OPS are just pretty good DHs or first baseman with 800 OPS, pretty good ball players. There's a difference. You can't take a guy who has 50 homer potential, 150 RBIs, by the way, which is absurd, and replace him with a second baseman. I, I don't care if it's Jeff Kent. It's not the same thing. It's not the same thing. It's a different position. It's a different need. So I like Jorge Polanco. Why is he playing first base? It doesn't make any sense. Like you don't let Pete walk. You need a first baseman. You can't have a second baseman play first. But listen, the lineup is good. You guys do have a good lineup. And again, it goes back to starting pitching. And I think that's also why the Toronto Blue Jays did so well against the Dodgers because the NL hitters don't see AL pitchers all the time. And the AL has some pretty good pitchers, and Toronto's got some nasty pitchers. And I think it caught the Dodgers by surprise. And they were hot. Their bats were hot. So their bats were hot, and their pitchers did their thing. That's why they pretty much should have won one catch, one play. That's why they should have won the World Series, or they came this close to winning the World Series against the dominant Dodgers because that pitching was so good. So what the Mets need to do is get just absurd. And you're right. They've always been a pitching team. So now you have the lineup. Now you need the pitching, which is easier said than done. But again, with Soto and how he is, and I don't know what his route is going to be, you got to do it. You got to go for guys like Scooble. You got to re-sign Peralta. Like you just got to do it. And if you do, that's great. Hats off to the Mets.
Yeah, 100%. I mean,
Percent.
I will never understand like kind of going back to what you just said. Like it just there's no defending not bringing Pete back. I feel like there's nothing you could say that makes me believe that was a good move. Like just from a neutral fan, it's just like it's such a like this whole philosophy of you could just throw anyone at first. Like I mean, like it's not an easy position. Like everyone makes it seem like it's a very very easy position. Like MLB arms, guys are throwing pellets,
And you know
pellets.
what? Pete couldn't throw the baseball, but first basemen don't have to throw the baseball.
Rarely, yeah,
And
exactly,
he's the best picker in the league. So you
exactly.
know what? That was the worst move we made all year. I didn't love some of the moves we made already, but not getting Pete was in reverse the worst move we've made.
I
I think
agree,
it's
and it's
I think it's genuinely known that the only position that I would even think about putting at first base is a catcher. Historically, that's been fine. People have done it, but not a second fucking baseman. I mean,
yeah,
With Scott Hatterberg coming back to him again.
it's
yeah,
ridiculous.
exactly. It's just like now you have a third baseman too who like just notoriously is not. He's probably not going to be great there. I mean, it would shock me, but I'm going to go out on a limb and say he's going to struggle a little bit, at least in the beginning. It'll take some time for him to get used to it. Um, but now, like, if he's going to make a bad throw at first, he's going to short hop it or whatever. You know, you have someone that you have no faith in to scoop these balls. Like, these are underrated aspects of the sport that can, like, destroy a game.
And it's a Mets team that throws one or two hoppers on almost every throw they make to first base.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable how much the Mets bounce the ball.
Correct me if
And
I'm
he was
wrong.
there to help.
I might be going nuts, but I could have sworn last season I saw Soto taking reps at first base. Am I
If
going nuts? Did you guys see that too?
he might have been if the Mets put Juan
I
Soto
think I
at
saved
first
the video
base,
because I
I'll
couldn't
watch
believe it. I gotta find it. I mean,
I mean,
honestly, you might be better off.
That could help, honestly. Like, that could be the long-term solution.
my
Yeah.
thing was I wanted that. I was texting Brandon about this. That's the reason I wanted the Mets to go out and get Bellinger. That was the only reason I wanted them.
It made so much sense if they did that. I don't
So
understand
much
why they
sense.
didn't. Like it would have been perfect for this team, the way they're set up. Instead of getting Robert, you could have got Bichette and Bellinger if that's like the mindset
You
of
put a big
like,
lefty,
yeah,
another big lefty bat in the middle of that lineup, a guy that has played first base before.
exactly. And can play the outfield, any position in the outfield. Soto needs a day off, put him in right. Center
And he
field,
speaks
the
English.
starter. Exactly. Good clubhouse guy. Everyone loves him. Like I really I don't understand why they didn't push harder for Bellinger. And Mets love Yankee former players for some really weird reason. So it could have been another thing for the Met fans to use against Yankee fans and being like, "Oh, we got another one of you guys."
Yeah,
Oh,
I'm not
we
that
would have
kind of
never
person
heard the
about
end of
like
it.
I think fans like that are annoying.
It's the only thing you have over us. It's so like the real one is Soto. Everyone else, it was horrible. I mean, like everyone else that they've signed over the years that's been a Yankee has been miserable for the Mets also. So
You
it's
know
it's
who the worst Yankee to Met ever acquisition was? Clay Holmes. He turned out to be okay for us last year, but I can't believe that after the season he had with the New York Yankees, the Mets decided, oh yeah, let's go get that guy.
I got something better. Get ready for Doomsday Devon.
I knew it. I knew you were gonna say that. I fucking knew it.
Dr. Doom is coming to City Field this year. I mean, that is something I wanted to talk about too before we
Yeah,
end this because it's
I
probably
can't
getting.
wait to see that.
I like you were
wait,
going into a season with trusting him to be the closer. Like,
oh my
can
God.
someone explain how that makes any sense? Like,
No,
yeah,
it
no,
doesn't.
Diaz, we don't need you. No, no, no. We got Doomsday, who was the reason the Yankees didn't win 100 games. He's the literal only reason the Yankees didn't win 100 games last year. Like, that's not. I'm not even like
Yeah.
exaggerating. He was so bad. Oh, he got better at the end of the year because he was pitching in the sixth inning when we were down 5. That's why he got better. There was no pressure. Now he's got to play in the ninth inning for like in a situation where he has so much pressure on him. Now he messes up at all, he's gonna get destroyed by the media. Oh, he's no chance. And who's the backup plan now? Tobias Myers. Yeah, he'll close. He'll be fine. You know, maybe that could work out. But then you have Luke Weaver, another one we didn't even talk about, who was miserable for the Yankees at the end
Holy
of the
crap.
year. Oh my God, he was getting crushed in the playoffs. Like throwing BP. I think any one of us in this call right now could have got a hit off of Luke Weaver in the playoffs last year. But no, no, no. He's a Met now, so he'll be fine.
Well,
Forgot.
but you know what? It blows my mind because the Mets are the team that destroyed Devin Williams. Literally took him by the throat and put him down.
Yeah,
Yeah.
with Pete Alonso,
Ever
who you don't
since
have
that
anymore.
Former
Alonso
Met
home
Pete
run,
Alonso did
the
that.
guy cannot throw a baseball. But
Yeah,
no,
he's
let's go
just
out and
not
get him.
clutch.
He's going to close our games. He's going to fill in another fill in. He's going to fill in for Edwin Diaz.
Yeah, no, he'll
Who's
be
going to go
fine.
replace him?
All right.
Yeah,
I mean, to be a little optimistic though, I will be optimistic for the Mets here. Devin Williams was the best closer in baseball for like a while. He could come
Because he
back and
threw a
play well. I
screwball and then
agree. He can
everybody
fold under
figured
pressure.
it
Luke
out.
Weaver, I mean, I'll be a little optimistic. On the topic of optimism, let's move to the Yankees. I saw a post today of the projected
hold
lineup
on.
and whatever, and I look at our fan base sometimes and I'm like, what do you want? Like what do you want? I get being angry, but like you look at the lineup. We made the ALDS last year. We played the worst baseball we've ever played in like half a decade. They looked terrible. The only person that was hitting was it was 1v9, right? So to expect that to happen again is a little insane. And to be like, we're running back the same team, like we're just gonna be ALDS and we might not even make the playoffs. You get Garrett Cole back, right? You got young guys with a year of experience back. You still have Aaron Judge, right? Um, you got what's his name, Big Lefty. That's a nice little pen piece. It's a good team. They played terrible in the playoffs. Guess what? They should have won the AL East if Doomsday Devon wasn't there. By the way, so now we have David Bednar, who's a competent closer and like an actual competent human being who goes out and does his job. Okay, who's to say we don't win more games than we did last year with a similar lineup that was good during the regular season, the best rotation in baseball. So then I look and you're like, we're not gonna make. What are you talking about? Like, do you have any idea that some of the positions other teams are in? Can you be grateful for once that you're just a Yankees fan at times? I'm not saying we're gonna go out and beat the Dodgers. That's probably not the case right now. But who on the market did you want to get that would put us over the hump? Who? Who is there? You know
People
where
were
they are?
acting like
They're on the
Kyle Tucker was
Dodgers.
the second coming of Christ,
They're on
and
the
like the
Dodgers.
Yankees needed to make this move. Like, come on, guys. Like, let's as a fan base relax. Like,
Calm
I
down.
like I get it. We've made some questionable moves over the years, and like we haven't really spent the way we usually have spent in years previous. But we just had a season where we had so much controversy, pretty much because we lost our big free agent to our crosstown rival for the first time ever. It kind of felt like it was a changing of the guard, and we made the playoffs over them. So obviously, like it didn't really matter. It really didn't. Maybe in the future it will, but right now the Yankees are arguably still the best team in the American League. You can make the argument. Obviously, Toronto was better than us last year. They lost out on Bo Bichette, who was huge for them in the World Series. I get it, he didn't play in the series against the Yankees, but everyone was glazing Kyle Tucker to the Blue Jays like it was a lock. It already happened back in December. It was
Blue
over.
Jays don't know how to make any acquisitions.
No, they're in on everyone, and they never get anyone. Their pitching has definitely gotten better. I'll give Toronto that.
Sure.
Their offense, though, I mean, I guess they're going to bank on the fact that they're going to hit like they did last year, which, I mean, if they do, props to them. They'll be fine.
Well,
But I would imagine teams make adjustments and figure out the weaknesses because, come on.
like, can you really expect would you rather expect Ernie Clement to have the same playoff he did last year, or have Giancarlo Stan actually like beat Giancarlo Stan, or do you expect him to be as horrible as he was last year? No, I would probably expect Stan.
I think he's going to land
He's-
somewhere in the middle.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not saying he's going to go out and be no, but I would have rather expect Stan just decent in the playoff. I'm not saying when he was in 24, that was insane. I'm saying Stan to be decent in the playoffs and Ernie Clement to be Barry Bonds reincarnate, right? I don't expect Dan Schneider or David Schneider, whatever his name is, to be the man in the playoffs again over Cody Bellinger, right? Who's abysmal in the playoffs, right? So if you look at the team, it's still a good team. They just played awful in the playoffs. They played awful. It's just it could happen again. It could not. It's a small sample size. So stop taking that small sample size and acting like that was the entirety of last season. You got Garrett Cole, who's still a great pitcher. You have the best rotation in baseball. You got a decent lineup, and guess what? You actually have some good platoon guys. Like now, you got some guys that could fill in. Caballero, Oswaldo's back.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah, Oswaldo's back. Ahmed Rosario, like they're actually like they could go in and play baseball
Ahmed Rosario.
instead of
He
Jahmai
wasn't bad.
Jones.
He wasn't
Instead of
bad.
Jahmai Jones.
Listen,
Yeah, I mean,
I have a question for Yankees fans. Do you guys expect any regression from Aaron Judge in the coming years?
of course, you have to
Some
expect
point.
it. And if not, then God
I don't
bless.
think it'll be this year. I think, what is he,
No.
33 this year?
Yeah, he's
This
still
year,
playing
he's
the
33
outfield.
season.
Yeah, yeah.
And like he really, the arm injury was scary, I will say. But the whole narrative around Judge has been he can't hit in the playoffs. He batted 500 in the playoffs this year. It's
yeah.
obviously like
2 years ago, they went to the World Series, Brandon. The guy single-handedly threw away the World Series.
I wouldn't say single-handedly. I would
No,
say
there was like
There was a
4
couple
errors
plays
that
in
inning
that
that
inning.
I could have made.
Yeah,
there
like
was a lot that went on.
Well, that PFP that they missed,
That was
my
disgusting. Volpe
God.
to third to tag out.
That whole inning, I never want to speak about
what are we
again.
That was the
one
worst
that's gotta
inning
be
in
left
history.
in the past. We got to move on. That was the most disgusting thing I've ever witnessed as a
Yeah, that
fan.
was brutal.
Because
and you got a coaching error. We should have at least took game one. We should have went back 1-1 to the Bronx. Realistically,
you put in Tim Hill instead of Nestor.
he
Oh
didn't
my
pitch in
God,
45 days off of an
it really
injury.
makes me want to throw
And then he
up.
throws 91 middle in to Freddie
Middle in
Freeman.
first pitch. Yo, he's not going to swing. Here you go. Swing.
Hey.
Right down the middle.
In the
What's
wheelhouse.
Freddie Freeman's going to do? He
That was
hit
a
the
third home run of the
6,000
game.
feet.
Is one of the best hitters in baseball, and he threw him a Pop-Tart.
Yeah,
Meatball.
BP.
BP.
an
Literally.
inside a
nobody-
middle in fastball.
Middle
And
in
91 mile
fastball.
an hour inside fastball.
Anthony Mancusi was throwing me BP, and I could hit that thing.
I mean, you can't make it up. You literally can't make that up.
Tim Hill, and then the best part is the ultimate blue ball, the ultimate edge. The next season, I remember this year they played the Dodgers, and Freddie Freeman was up, and you know who they brought in? Tim Hill. And you know what he did? He got a ground out. Literally foreshadowing what would have happened.
You can't say that. You can't.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Like it was just like, there's no way. Look at this.
Just saying.
What should have happened, and like it's alternate timeline. That's a whole different thing. Obviously, the Yankees were embarrassing that series. The way they fumbled that, I mean, it was
all fundamental. It wasn't even a skill issue. It was literally just fundamental baseball issues. Like it was so stupid.
Listen, as an overview as a Yankee fan, just to summarize what we were just talking about, okay? Especially when it comes to playoffs, but honestly in general, we need to stop leaving runners on base. If you could fix that problem, and if you get the collective right guys to just have base hits, put a double in the gap in the right spots. I couldn't find all the information, but game one of the ALDS against the Blue Jays, we left 6 runners on. 6. And I'm sure the rest of the games are like that as well. I can't really remember. But that's, as I'm watching the game, that's what I'm thinking every single game. We're leaving at least 2 to 3 runners on almost every inning.
There's not a lot of clutch hitting. I feel like I've noticed that.
The only clutch factor is Judge. That's it.
Yeah. No, I mean,
and then
there's a lot of guys
in the last game, and he rips a double into the gap.
The only one
First
that
at
could,
bat.
yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's the only RBI, I'm pretty sure. Or him and McMahon, the two guys that no one would ever expect in that lineup. Like the two
Ryan
7,
McMahon.
9 guys pretty much
It was a joke.
doing it all in the biggest game of the season.
So
And
that's
then
what I want as a fan. Stop leaving runners on base. That will
And
change games single-handedly.
yeah,
absolutely, I
The
think
staff is amazing.
that's both for the Yankees and the Mets. The Mets with runners in scoring position is an embarrassment. And this goes back to what Vito asked me before. What do I want to see the Mets do? I want to see the Mets stop going to get power hitters and stop going to get people that don't hit. Go get a guy that hits for average. The
that's what they
last
did
guy,
though. They did make they did. Bo Bichette, I will say, that was
sure.
big.
The
Guys like that.
last
Yeah.
Met to hit 300 in a season, I think, was Jeff McNeil when he won the Silver Slug, when he won the batting title. When was that? 2019? 2018?
Yeah,
Not
That
great.
was the last Met to hit 300 in a season. And I get
Pre-COVID.
Soto has a 400 OBP. I don't care. He hits 263 because when there's runners on base and he draws a walk, I don't care.
Walk
Yeah,
doesn't
'cause
move the runner to home.
Exactly. So go get a guy that hits for average. And you know what? You're right. Bichette does hit for average, but that's it. That's it.
Yeah, I mean, Semien and whoever else, I guess Polanco, I guess, like you're kind of expecting him to be
It's
clutch, which
260.
I know. It's
There was a guy in the free agent market who had 150 something RBIs. He wasn't really a contact hitter, but
Yeah.
I feel like if you got him and Bichette,
He hit 275 last year, too.
be pretty good.
pretty
Yeah.
clutch hitter too. Had some big moments a
Yeah,
couple years ago in the
150. That's
playoff run.
nothing to sniff at.
No. You won't miss
Yeah.
that. No.
Nope.
But
He hit I think he hit 45 to 50 doubles, too.
it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Look at
All right, yo, I think that's good, right?
Wait, hold on.
All right, yeah. Go ahead.
Can we talk about the New York Rangers for a second?
Yeah, fuck it. Why not?
Why not? I mean,
Sure.
you do a little. Yeah, I've never talked about the Rangers on this, but I mean, Chris Drury might be the worst human being on this
Oh
planet.
my God. Chris Drury and David Stearns. Hang them in the square. Hang them in Times Square.
Public
I mean,
execution.
Because Chris Drury sending out another 2-page email to all his fans about how it's a retool, not a rebuild, and alerting the entire NHL that Panarin won't be re-signed this year.
oh my God.
Oh my God.
Think about how dumb that is.
What is today? Today's January 22nd. Off season is June 22nd.
Yeah. No, I mean,
These
you're gonna
teams
get
have
nothing
6
from him
months.
now.
Why would you even
Why would you trade for him at
think
this
about
point?
trading
Just
for
sign
him
him.
when he's going to be a free agent in June? Like, who does that? Who consciously does that? And you know what? This whole Shesterkin got hurt thing, and let's put Jonathan Quick in every game. He's 40 years old. The guy won cups 15 years ago
Against the Rangers.
Yes.
Yeah.
But it's unbelievable to me how they think that this Jonathan Quick scenario is going to be like Cam Talbot was in 2014, 2015. Cam Talbot came in and won 25 games. Jonathan Quick is lucky if he doesn't give up 25 goals.
I like that take. I mean, they are in one of the worst situations I've ever seen.
Because they have they have nobody anymore. Because everyone they had is already on the team now.
And
because nobody knows how to play hockey.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, the real failure was missing out on the first and second pick back-to-back seasons in Kako and Lafreniere. I mean, Lafreniere, me and Vito have talked about this, he's supposed to change the sport of hockey.
Yeah.
I mean, he was supposed to be Sidney Crosby on crack, and he's mid.
And he puts up maybe 60 points a game.
Yeah, and like he's not like
I don't think he's a bad hockey player.
No, he just for what he was supposed to be. Capo Caco though.
Capo Caco is a terrorist.
I hated watching.
Because you know what?
I would watch and be like, when's he gonna do the thing?
Seattle,
When's he gonna do the thing?
Best.
Yeah, of course.
And Chris Kreider. Oh my God! How do you get rid of Chris Kreider?
At least, yeah,
For nothing.
Nothing. Bag of chips.
Let's go out and get JT Miller and make him captain. That's the biggest problem for the New York Rangers right now.
Toxic players
JT
ever.
Miller is the worst captain I've ever seen in my life. The fact that you don't name Mika Zibanejad or Chris Kreider captain, and then you get rid of Kreider and send him to the Ducks where he puts up 7 goals in his first 7 games there, that's it. I'm done. I hate them. And Mike Sullivan, I'm sorry, pal. I don't know if it's your fault or not, but you are not a good head coach, clearly.
Yeah, he's got to have some say.
He's got nothing. He's got nothing to work with, though. I feel like he's got nothing. This team is just miserable.
But the young kids are good. I like Perot. I like Ockman. I like I mean,
Their
I
fall
do.
off honestly needs to be studied.
Yeah.
It's
I was
insane.
at their final game against the Panthers 2 years ago, and they honestly could have won. Maybe not that series, but
They
at
were
least
going to the cup. They were going to the cup.
They were the best team in hockey that year. Yeah.
you know
They
what? You
won
know
the
what gave us that
President's
game?
Trophy.
Yeah.
They won the President's
Exactly.
Trophy.
Well, there's a curse to that.
I don't care.
It's
I
still
don't
they
care.
did prove they were the best team in hockey.
They were
That was
so
only
good.
2 years ago. Like, and they were a young core back then. Like
They
that's
ran
what
it back.
they
Same
ran it
team.
back and they complete like what is going on? How does this all happen this
Insane.
fast?
New
Like,
York
and
is
then we
cursed.
keep the GM. How do you keep this guy? That's the worst part. This guy's done nothing. Oh my God. He's
Hang him in the square.
everything.
Him and Stearns. I'm done. I hate them. I
Yeah.
can't watch them anymore. It just it all trickles down from them. It literally every single move trickles down from them.
You know,
He's lucky he has the Knicks.
it's another thing.
Another
Well,
one that's-
the good thing is the positive about New York sports right now is we have at least 2.5 teams who are going to be fun to watch. And in baseball, New York is doing good. I'll give it. The Mets are a playoff caliber team. Vincent, they are not a World Series caliber team. Shut up. The Yankees, another playoff caliber team. Hopefully they don't make the World Series because we'll probably get publicly embarrassed again. The New York Knicks, talk about that another time,
the
I
Knicks
guess.
might-
That's
But
our best
they could
chance.
be good.
That's another one that I will
But,
say. I'm going to do that later on at some point.
Yeah.
I'm going to have some goons on to kind of talk about that miserable situation. I mean, they won last night by, I think, almost 100. I mean, the Nets scored 66 points. Are you serious with how pathetic of a performance that is in an NBA game? But maybe that's the turnaround. But before that, I mean, the month of January might be the worst month of basketball I've ever seen from a team. They were one of the most pathetic things of all time. Karl Anthony Towns, before we end this video, is one of the most pathetic players of all time, and we will never win if he's on this team. He needs to get traded. I don't care what we get. We could win. We could be fine without him. He is a losing player. He's a loser. He's a loser, and he's zesty, and I hate that about him. And he's just like he was definitely huge for us at points in the playoffs last year. He won the Pistons series for us. Huge player. Like at that time, he's horrific now. And they move on. It was a good experiment. Like you didn't really even lose the trade because Minnesota, I mean, yeah, they're good, but like I don't think they're good enough to win it all. So I just
Get rid of him for Giannis, bro. Get him.
I would trade like 5 guys for Giannis on this team just to go all in and just see what happens.
Man.
Trade everyone except Jalen Brunson for Giannis.
Yeah, I was about to say, like realistically, how long, much longer, I should say, is Jalen Brunson going to be playing the way he is?
I mean, I don't know.
A handful of years, maybe.
I think he's 28, I believe. So I mean, that's a point guard though that size that has a lot of ankle injuries. It's scary.
That's exactly.
But like this
he
team
is unbelievable though.
unreal.
It's like every time I see him take a shot, I'm like, why are you shooting that? And then it goes in, and I'm like, okay.
No,
And everybody's a foot taller than him.
I know.
He makes it
He's
look
fading away on like guys that are
different
7'10".
Yeah,
Crazy.
no, credit to him. He's probably he's a top 10 player in the sport. He's unbelievable. It's just sad that I mean we have built a great team around him. It's just like I just don't know if we're good enough. Like there's teams that are just like in a 7-game series. I don't know if we're matching up. Even in the East, like if the Celtics get healthy, it's a problem.
Listen, it's still somewhat early. All right,
Yeah. I mean, you got till what? April, May?
Because we had a great start.
You can make big trades at the deadline. Fix the bench. I think.
Mike, are you a big Knicks fan?
I'd say so.
Yeah.
I'd say so.
Right.
Yeah, I mean,
the past 2.5 years is when I really, really got into the Knicks.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think people jumped the gun because of how close they got last year, but in reality, they got extremely lucky against the Celtics. Like the first 2 games of that series, like credit to them, they had incredible wins, but like we were getting smoked the whole game, and then out of nowhere, we completely stole it. It was unbelievable. Like I was like turning off the game at points. I was like, oh, we're gonna get murdered, manhandled in this game. And then out of nowhere, I turn it back on. We're up 1 with like 3 minutes left, and it's like, so I think they got a little lucky. And then, I mean, say what you want about Tatum getting hurt, they were up 3-1 at that point. So I think they would have been fine even if he was healthy. But the problem with that is we got very, very ahead of ourselves, and we're like, oh, we're going to the finals. Like this is it.
And we overlooked the Pacers.
Somehow they were just better, I guess. Like
Tyrese Halliburton went. He became.
I was gonna say, listen, I think the Pacers were a better team, obviously, but at the same time, game 1, that shot was just Like
Oh,
Yeah, I think if that goes to game 7, we win the series. That's the
that was
frustrating part.
retardation.
And it should have went to 7.
Miles Turner also had the best series I've ever seen.
It was
That
just
was
these guys played
unbelievable.
out of their minds. And credit to them, they went to 7 games with an incredible OKC team. It's just like the Knicks kind of like saw this and were like, all right, we're right there. But like, what are the problems? And I don't know if they should have fired their coach. That was another thing. There's a lot. There's just a lot that's going on with them right now that I'm not a fan of. I really hope they don't panic and do something stupid. But like they're like still like only like a couple players, nothing crazy. I don't even know if they're a Giannis away, but like a couple of good depth guys to be,
That's
I
their
think, better.
problem. They have
That,
nobody off the bench.
it's mid. I mean, Jordan Clarkson, I thought was a huge signing for us. I thought it was going to help. Guys doesn't even play anymore. So it was like, all right,
Yeah, what's
Gershon
that about?
Yabusele is horrific at basketball. Horrific. That was supposed to be the big signing. He's literally going to be out of the NBA in the offseason. Um, and like those are two big guys you can't miss on, and they did. So I would imagine they have to figure out a way to fix that. And if they do, I think they'll be fine.
Go get a big 6 man and you're good.
Yeah,
That's what I think.
because you can't really rely on Kolek. And he's been
Although
great.
I do love that kid.
He's
I
so
love
good.
him.
I love him. But
Sneaky
guys,
athletic.
you know how
Bro
quick
plays the game the right
switch, though?
way.
You know how quick things could switch, though. I mean, we beat the Spurs twice.
Yeah, no, I mean, and then we're
You know what I
losing
mean?
to the Kings, the Sacramento Kings,
That's what I'm
and,
saying.
and the Mavericks at home. Like,
It can flip another 3 times for all we know. I'm just saying.
Yeah,
But
that's a very
we'll
weird
see.
team. All right, I feel like we've been on this for a decade.
Yeah.
All right, I'll just do the outro. All right, Vito, back-to-back podcasts. It's been a pleasure. Thank you for joining us. And Brian, debut, did a pretty good job.
Unreal. I hope I make it back on this thing soon.
Oh, no, 100%. I mean, I like to mix it up. I don't want to have the same group every
Yeah, of
time.
course.
I've been on 26 times, it feels like. But I feel like it's definitely good to get new faces in. But yeah, no, thank you guys so much. Episode
Thank you.
10 is done. So thank you.